Great analogy, Anshu. I liked how she framed moving from me to we. You know, I have been told by the organizers that I have to complete my keynote in 20 minutes. And that is really tough. Not because I talk a lot, but because I have a lot to share. So I will try my best to complete the keynote in 20 minutes. But if not, I want to leave you all with 3 key messages. So when it comes to AI and digital transformations, what comes to mind? Data, models, algorithms, technology, right? And that's how we are trained to think. But in leading strategic digital transformations for over 20 years, and AI transformations since the past couple of years, I have learned one important lesson. When transformations go bad, they're never because of technology. Message number 2, companies go through what I call as a digital maturity life cycle. And when companies don't act their age, it's very dangerous for your business. The third message, it's a little provocative one. AI is not going to transform your business, no. But how you lead will certainly transform your business. I am happy to share a framework called as Anchors that I have developed to help lead meaningful and successful AI transformations. So I've got a lot to share, so let's get started. So AI, as you all know by now, has the power to transform organizations. It has the power, the ability to solve problems that past technologies couldn't. So we have these smart models rolled out every other day. You have these vendors here who claim to have the next revolutionary model. So in a world of revolutionary AI models, what if I say that your competitive advantage doesn't lie in AI at all? Think about it. When everyone has got access to the same AI model, where will your real edge come from? So the question is not what AI can do, the question is what you can do with AI. As I said earlier, companies go through a digital maturity life cycle. They are like human beings. It has got a childhood full of excitement, and adolescence full of potential. And then you move into maturity that is full of resilience. And then you move into legacy stage, which is the old age. So when you are in the early stage of your digital maturity, you probably do not have the infrastructure, you do not have the right people, processes, technology. Here the focus has to be on building readiness. It has to be on building a solid foundation. When you are in the growth stage, you probably have some amount of infrastructure. You have little data. You have probably hired few people. Here the focus has to be on maintaining focus, has to be on resolute. The focus has to be on start experimentation. When you are at the mature stage, you probably have the infrastructure, you have people, technology, processes, and the right principles. Here the focus has to be on maintaining resilience and scaling your initiatives. When you're at the legacy stage, you have legacy systems, you have legacy processes, probably legacy people. The focus has to be on reinvention. Else you risk decline. JP Morgan Chase is a fantastic example of how they have reinvented themselves. They have evolved from a classic bank to now a global payment solution provider. Vendors and partners could easily connect with their payment API for seamless integration with different payment rails. QNB is doing a similar thing. Our partners and clients can connect with our open banking platforms for seamless integrations to different services. These are examples of reinvention. As you all know, so one thing I wanted to say, the point what I wanted to make earlier is that companies, their strategy of the company must fit your digital maturity age. As you all know, AI adoption is skyrocketing. We're hearing AI everywhere, right? As of early 2025, the global AI market was estimated to be around $243 billion. OpenAI claims 92% of the Fortune 500 companies use their products in some form or the other. And then you have 400 million weekly active ChatGPT users. Impressive, right? Impressive statistics. But that's only half the equation. The other half of the equation is not so impressive. We also know from a global study done by a global firm with global CEOs and CIOs that AI, for more than 50% of the CIOs say, AI has not delivered value. In fact, a recent study, I think it was last month, by MIT, said, they created headlines when they said 95% of the Gen AI implementations have failed to deliver real measurable impact on P&L. Why? When companies don't act their age, remember, it can be dangerous for business. Let me give you an example of a growth stage companies. You know what growth stage companies are, like I said earlier? They're like teenagers. And what do teenagers do? Incredibly stupid things, right? Full of energy, full of potential, and full of chaos. So you have this lot of initiatives rolled out, lot of pilots, but lack of focus, lack of strategic foresight. So value gets destroyed when companies don't act their age. Let me give you an example of Lego. You know, its brand identity is built on human craftsmanship and ingenuity. Yet, when they rolled out their AI initiative, they had this AI-generated, distorted images of their characters on their website. And this angered their fans, and customer trust got eroded. So lack of foresight, lack of strategic intent. But value also gets multiplied when companies and leaders act responsibly. Let me give you another example of Natura, a Brazilian cosmetic giant that empowered its 3.5 million beauty consultants when they deployed agentic AI to help their customer service officers and beauty consultants. Result? The customer relationship soared and the loyalty skyrocketed. That's the power of human and AI collaboration. So AI won't transform your business. As I said earlier, how you lead will. AI success is not determined by the latest model or the latest vendor or the latest release. It is determined by trust, by collaboration, by culture, by embedding ethics by design. It is designed by you, by leadership, that helps to orchestrate all the different players in the ecosystem together. That's the power of human and AI collaboration. Now, let me tell you, having led many transformations and few AI transformations in the past couple of years, I can say with confidence and from first-hand experience that these transformations are not easy. It feels scary. It feels like you're at the peak and the trough at the same time. You need better tools to surf this wave very skillfully. So that's why you can use this framework to help you navigate these transformations from hype to real transformations. So these are the 7 strategic shifts I was talking about. 1 is anticipate the disruption with strategic foresight. 2, navigate with human-centered leadership. 3 is connect your use cases with the strategic mission of your company. H is harden your readiness across technology, talent, and trust. 5 is open the boundaries of your imagination. R is responsible AI. Lead AI responsibly. I stress on this, lead AI responsibly by embedding ethics by design. And the last one is sustainable AI. As somebody was just talking, we have to think of sustainable AI. You have to build not only for your business today, but think of the future for your people and planet. Now, it is difficult to go through each of them in details. We have a limited time. I'll be happy to share a playbook later for those interested in these 7 strategic shifts. But these are based on 3 core principles: anchor for the future, anchor for humanity, and anchor for sustainability. Let's talk about principle number 1, anchor for the future. The problem that I see is we keep chasing hype. We keep reacting to trends. We keep fighting to win the game, when we rarely pause to ask, are we even playing the right game? Are we even playing the right game? And then we have the plethora of consultants and vendors who promise magical transformations, overnight transformations with their magical tools. I call them the plastic surgeons. Yeah? The plastic surgeons. But a promising facelift would not build a muscle that you need for real transformations. Real transformations come from understanding the DNA of your organization. And no consultant and vendor would be able to understand the DNA as well as you do. So the value is not in the volume of pilots. Value is in the strategic intent. Value is in the strategic foresight. Design for the customer of the future, not the legacy of the past. Prioritize your use case based on how important it is for your organization and how feasible it is to deliver. Let me give you an example of IKEA here. So IKEA used AI to build personalized customer experiences for the people. A fantastic example of how aligned they were with their strategic intent. Because the mission was to improve the lives of everyday people. So the question I want to ask you is, what future are you preparing for? And what playbooks do you have? The real opportunity is not just optimization. The real opportunity is imagination. What can AI do? What can AI not do? Understand its capabilities and also its limitations, and where it best serves your organization. The second principle is anchor in humanity. Like I said earlier, transformations don't fail because of weak algorithms. Transformations fail when leaders lead with a tech first, people last, and principles forgotten approach. Recently, a senior executive who was rolling out a large AI transformation in his enterprise told me, I'm tired. Every day feels like a crisis. How can I give certainty to my people? He was upset because his IT team was not supporting his AI initiative. They were afraid that AI would take away their jobs. AI, a common fear, right? AI would take away their jobs. I said, don't wait for certainty. It won't come. We have to learn to dance with the chaos. So we worked together to recalibrate roles. And when he was able to show his people how AI can free them from their routine, mundane tasks, operational admin tasks, and move them into higher value tasks of governance oversight, fear turned into excitement. And that's the power of human-AI collaboration. That's what you can achieve when humans and AI work together. So the question to you is, what can you do to shift your people's attitude to help them move from fear to anxiety? What shifts you can do to help them see AI as a partner and not as a threat. So AI success is not determined by the models. Success isn't determined by building smarter models. Really, success is not determined by building smarter models. It is about building smarter humans who can work with the smart models with smarter principles. The third anchor is anchor for sustainability. You know, when leaders act recklessly, when they don't act with responsibility, when ethics become an afterthought, adoption stalls. Your philosophy, your AI guiding principles are a key determinant of AI success. And you would agree with me that we are living in a complex world, and we human beings like to make things even more complex, right? Complex data, complex systems, complex processes, complex models. And when we have these complex models, when complexity creeps in, that's when problem occurs. It becomes a black box. You know, nobody understands why they made certain decisions. It's prone to bias, misinformation, security leaks, cybersecurity attacks. Let me share with you a personal story here. A large retail grocery chain in Australia deployed an AI resource optimization and workflow scheduling system. It was developed and led by my son, a senior data scientist. In just 12 months, they achieved a 6.9% cost savings, and impressive results. But then soon, business kept on layering more business rules, and complexity crept in. Model became a black box. Nobody understood why it made certain decisions except for my son. Adoption stalled. So I coached him and his team to strip away complexity, make it simple, and make the model explainable. And that's when the real breakthrough came. So the lesson here is accuracy isn't enough. Explainability and transparency are key drivers for this transformation. You've got to pay attention to data privacy, transparency, explainability, bias elimination, safety, and security. The question to you is, what can you do to embed ethics by design in your transformation? So I want to reiterate and remind everybody that AI is not a tsunami. It is the new climate. You're either prepared for the weather or be ready to be swept away by the storm. And this is valid for organizations as well as for individuals, whether you're a manager, senior manager, executive, whoever you are. So you have a choice to make today. Either you choose to lead AI responsibly or face the consequences. When you choose to lead AI responsibly, your brand becomes trusted, your employees are empowered, and your value is multiplied for your customers. But if you fail, you have a crisis of trust, you have a cultural decay, and then you have commoditization of AI that leaves you with no competitive advantage. So AI won't transform your business. Who will? Raise your hands. Nobody? Yes, it's not AI who would transform your business, you will. You have the power, you have the ability to transform your business. So I want to summarize saying, it's not what AI can do, it's what you choose to do with AI. And when you fuse it with human ingenuity, when you fuse AI with human ingenuity, foresight, ethics, culture, get people along, have the principles embedded, have the foresight, that's when real transformation happens. So I've told you why it is important to understand the digital maturity of your organization, why it is important to align your AI strategies based on your digital maturity, and why it is important to lead with a pro-human and principles-based approach. So here's your call to action. You now have a roadmap to a responsible AI journey. think of how can you use anchors as a framework and one small step that you can take to move from hype to real AI transformations, be it experimenting with small pilots if you are in the growth stage, be it launching some quick wins that are relevant for your organization, or be it investing in some strategic bets. So what's your call to action? As I promised earlier, we couldn't cover all the 7 principles or the 7 strategic shifts earlier. This is the playbook that I have. If you're interested, scan the code and I'll be happy to send them to you. Thank you.